Norway's Crown Prince Haakon met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in Kiev on Tuesday, marking the first visit by a member of the Norwegian royal family to Ukraine since 2008. According to Associated Press, the Crown Prince and Ukrainian President greeted each other and inspected a guard of honor before introducing one another to their accompanying delegations. Haakon was accompanied by Norwegian Minister of Energy Terje Aasland. During a meeting between the pair, Zelensky thanked the Crown Prince for Norway's backing since the start of the Russian invasion. "We are thankful for Norwegian people and to your government and for such big support from the very beginning of this war," Zelensky said. In a post on his social media following the meeting, Zelensky added the pair talked about strengthening energy stability. "We appreciate Norway's contribution of $450 million to Ukraine's energy security," Zelensky posted.
Thank you so much for receiving me.
No, with pleasure, with pleasure.
And our delegations.
Yes, it's Sophia.
So beautiful, right? With me.
Welcome.
My advisor.
Thank you very much.
The ambassador, Norwegian ambassador.
We know each other very well.
And the Minister of Energy.
Very important minister.
Oh, yes.
Chief of my office. Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much. Operation, where we try to support.
Thank you.
That's, okay. Yeah? Or not?
We are very thankful for Norwegian people and to your government and for such big support from the very beginning of this war.
Met some of your soldiers.
My very
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said Monday that he spoke with U.S. President Donald Trump before Trump's call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, urging him not to make any decisions about Ukraine without involving Kiev. According to Associated Press, speaking during a press briefing, Zelensky said the two discussed the possibility of a ceasefire and Washington's readiness to impose serious sanctions in response to Russian actions. A second phone call involving Trump included leaders from France, Italy, Finland, as well as European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, Zelensky added. It happened after Trump talked to Putin. At the same time, Zelensky reiterated Ukraine's red lines in any peace talks. "No one will be pulling our troops out of our own territory," he said, in response to reported Russian preconditions for ceasefire that were voiced in Istanbul. He added that if Moscow insists on such terms, it means they don't want a ceasefire and they don't want the war to end, because they clearly understand that Ukraine won't do that. Zelensky also said discussions are underway about a possible high-level summit involving the US, Russia, Ukraine, EU leaders, and the United Kingdom. Potential venues include Turkey, the Vatican, or Switzerland.
У мене сьогодні було два дзвінка з президентом Трампом в різних форматах. Перший дзвінок був, ми з ним проговорили про те, що дуже важливо для України. Це припинення вогню, це, в принципі, безумовні речі, які ми обговорювали і в Стамбулі, і постійно до цього. Друге, це готовність Сполучених Штатів Америки піти до більш серйозних кроків, санкційних кроків, і я дуже його попросив подумати про це і застосувати, якщо Росія не буде підтримувати припинення вогню і не захоче закінчити цю війну. Третє, я попросив його перед його розмовою з Путіним не приймати рішень про Україну без нас, і для нас це принципові речі і дуже важливі. Ну і ми домовилися, що буде у нас потім контакт після його розмови з Путіним. Виводити наші війська з наших територій ніхто не буде. Це конституційний обов'язок мій, це обов'язок наших військових захищати суверенітет і територіальну цілісність України. Якщо Росія ставить умови виводити наші війська з нашої ж землі, значить вони не хочуть, щоб було припинення вогню і не хочуть, щоб війна закінчилась. Тому що вони чітко розуміють, що Україна не буде цього робити.
EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said the Trump administration had insisted that there would be consequences should Russia fail to agree a ceasefire. According to Associated Press, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said he didn't want to comment on the phone call between the presidents of Russia and the USA, but he praised US President Donald Trump, saying he had started also to open lines of communication with the Russian president. But he warned it was no always possible in real life to get speedy results. So again, I think what the Americans are doing is very important. It's crucial that they consult with the Europeans, with Ukraine, and we have to take this step by step and let's see what happens this week and next week, Rutte said. Rutte said he was really glad that Trump had taken on a leadership role. He basically broke the deadlock from day one when he entered into office in January, and I really want to commend him for that, Rutte said.
Good morning.
Well, we all agreed and said, and we also heard statements from United States that, if they don't agree to unconditional ceasefire, like Ukraine has agreed over 60 days ago, there will be strong action. And that is what we want to see from all the parties who have said that they will act in accordance. Of course, on the European side, we have the statements of 27 that if Russia doesn't agree, then we will put more pressure, so we will continue with that. We heard from I think it was last week, when America said that, if Russia doesn't agree on, full and unconditional ceasefire, then there are going to be, consequences. So we want to see those consequences also from the U.S. side. We really haven't seen, the pressure on Russia from these talks.
So, good morning. Let me first of all say that I'm really glad that President Trump takes this leadership role. He basically broke the deadlock from day one when he entered into office in January. And I really want to commend him for that. And I do not want to give a running commentary on every development every day. But clearly the American administration is very much involved, closely coordinating with European colleagues. And of course Ukraine, and I think that is very positive. Well, clearly, till January, there were no discussions with the Russians. I think the positive thing is that President Trump has started also to open lines of communication with the Russian president. Of course, you hope for results as soon as possible, but that is not always possible in real life, because this is a complex conflict. So again, I think what the Americans are doing is very important. It's crucial that they consult with the Europeans, with Ukraine, and we have to take this step by step. Let's see what happens this week and next week.